Lisa Patz.
Let me give it to my, you got that good, got that good, baby, don't you?
It's your good sis Lisa Patz, and today I will be sharing with you guys how I got these straight back braids, and I did them on myself. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what hairstyle you want me to do next. Starting with freshly washed and stretched hair, I have separated out my baby hairs, that's why they look like that, so that they don't get in the way of the braids, and it also makes your braids look way neater. Today I'll be using my freeway mirror to do my whole entire style. Now I've seen so many people using freeway mirrors, and I've been trying to figure out for myself how to use it, and I finally figured out a way to use it because I don't have a mirror behind me, but you can kind of sit inside of the freeway mirror and use that to help you part. The back section is so that I can have knotless braids at the back, which also helps your hair to look a bit more full when you have it in this style. And then for the rest of my head, I split my hair in half straight down the middle, and then on each side I split that in half again, and then I split those sections in half again. This is a really easy way to part your hair, especially when you're doing it on your own, because you know that you're going to have the same amount of braids on each side and they're going to be pretty even. To get those parts out of the way, I used Shine and Jam to really clean up the parts and then braid them down so that they were really flat, and it was easy for me to see the sections and see how I had parted them. So here's half of my head done, and I'm just going to go on to continue to do the other half, and we'll be right back. Here you can see the parting system that I set up. So at the back I've got 4 along the bottom, 5 along the top. They will all be knotless braids. For the top portion of my head, I currently have 8 braids or 8 sections, and they will be split in half again, so I have 16 in total. Those 16 sections are going to become my cornrows slash braids, and for the back section of these knotless braids, I'm just going to do that off camera, so if you want a more detailed video, I'll link it above. I'm going for a higher angle here, so hopefully that will help you see what I'm doing a bit better. But now I'm just splitting one of those sections in half again, so this is one of those 16 sections I was talking about before, and using Shine and Jam to help me split that section, you can kind of see how I'm sitting inside of this 3-way mirror, and then you can really see that the back of your head is so helpful, guys. If you don't have a 3-way mirror and you do your own hair, please get one. It makes such a big difference. I apply Shine and Jam and detangle each section so that it's a lot easier for me to braid and to grip onto. To start off my cornrows, I like to take a really small section at the front and use that with Shine and Jam to split into 3 and start off my cornrow. And the first thing that I do is do about 3, 4, 5 turns of just like a regular braid, and then I start to actually cornrow the hair down. I'll have a closer view of this in a second so that you can see exactly how I do that. But I think that's really key to making your braids really neat at the front. It really helps them to have like that beautiful, really like sharp start to it. And then as I'm braiding down, I add braiding hair using really small pieces, and I add braiding hair about every 5 braids so that it's not too thick and bulky and it lays really flat on my head. I've done this style in the past and I used braiding hair that was too thick for each section, and I found that it just looked like my head was levitating, and I really didn't like that. So I would definitely recommend using really small sections of braiding hair and also braiding very tightly, slowly, and like taking really small sections when you do those braids. I wanted to show you guys different angles in this video, so I've done the other half of my head and now I'm coming back to show what this half looks like and how my hand placement is. I think hand placement is so important when you're braiding or when you're cornrowing, especially when you're adding in the hair. You want your hands to be at the top of the braid, on top of it, not underneath the braid. So if you ever done like a French braid before, your hands in a French plait are usually underneath the braid and you're kind of braiding under, but when you're cornrowing, your hands need to be above the braid. I personally find that it's so much easier to grip my hair when my hands are above it. When you get down to the back, make sure that you keep adding Shine and Jam, guys, so that you can make sure that it's really smooth. This was one of the last sections that I did, so I'm just going to show you the whole process again so it's really clear for you guys. So I took out that braid. It was one of the 8 braids that I did, and I split this in half. A tip for splitting your hair in half: do 1 part straight back and 1 part straight down, and then you can curve it. That helps a lot to just make it super even and especially when you're doing this on your own head, it's so hard to even see anything. And I'm tying my hair around my ear to get it out of the way. Whatever you need to do, get the hair out of the way so that you don't add it to the wrong braid or the wrong cornrow, because that would be embarrassing. Now I'm going to show you again my cornrow process. So as I said, I take a section at the front and I do a braid with it. I braid about 4, 5, 6 times, and then I slowly start to cornrow and add the hair into that braid. Please do take your time when you're braiding, especially if it's your first time or even if it's your 50th time. I think even the most seasoned braiders will say that it's better to go slow than to go fast and mess it up. And as you can see there, I just had to make sure that I was actually grabbing the part that I wanted to grab, and to ensure that this is like really flat against your head. Take really small sections when you are adding them in. And here you can see me adding in the braiding hair. When adding braiding hair, I like to hook it around my middle finger so that my middle finger can hold the braiding hair, and then I can grab the other half of the braiding hair with my other hand. Then I can release my middle finger and use that hand to grab the other half of the braiding hair. If you guys want a more detailed explanation, let me know. I'm happy to do that for you. My arms were getting very tired at this point, so we just have to keep pushing, keep going through. It is definitely an arm workout, guys. No one tells you that. I'm gonna tell you that. It's an arm workout. Bearing in mind, I had done 14 other braids at this point, 14 other cornrows at this point. My arms were tired, but I also was like, I'm almost finished, so I'm gonna keep going. So yeah, enjoy me finishing this, and I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Once you are done with the braids, make sure that you use foam and set them so that they lay flat and they look gorgeous. And then we are done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope that I helped you today a little bit in your own braid and cornrow journey. Let me know if you want like a really detailed video just on like cornrowing and braiding on yourself and the tips that have really helped me. And I hope to see some of you rocking these straight back braids. I know y'all look beautiful with that. So yeah, peace, love, blessings, and I'll see you guys in my next video.